Francisco has been a major tourist destination since the late 1800s. Its iconic landmarks have become familiar to people around the world. The city of San Francisco also operates an efficient public transportation system, providing locals and tourists an inexpensive way to visit all of the city's scenic and historic sites. At the turn of the 20th century, the major operator of public transportation in San Francisco was the Market Street Cable Railway. The privately run company operated a network of cable car lines that ran on Market Street and branched off to serve Golden Gate Park, the Western Addition, the Mission District, and Noe Valley. In 1895, the Market Street Cable Railway created its first electric streetcar line, the Fillmore and 16th Street Line. It ran from 16th and Folsom, covered Fillmore Street, and ended at Bay Street. But the steep 24% grade between Broadway and Green Street proved unsuitable for streetcars. Rather than building a cable car on such a short route, the Market Street Railway set up a simpler counterbalance funicular system. Called the Fillmore Hill Funicular, it operated by means of a cable permanently attached to ascending and descending cars, working as a counterbalance system. Unlike funiculars, cable cars run along a continuously moving underground cable, with a grip that acts like a pair of pliers, engaging and disengaging the cable. On November 16, 1921, the cable on the funicular line broke when one of the cars was near the top of the hill. The car sped downhill out of control, finally jumping the tracks and smashing into a telephone pole, injuring the conductor and 5 passengers. After it was renamed 22 Fillmore, the line was extended to Marina Boulevard. In 1935, the Market Street Railway created the 24 Divisadero to run a short route between Page and Sacramento. In 1941, streetcars were replaced with buses on the 24 line, and the route was extended to reach Noe Valley in the south and the Marina District in the north, taking over the outdated funicular on the 22 line. To avoid the steep Fillmore Hill, the line was rerouted to a more suitable gradient on Steiner Street. Minus its funicular, the 22 Fillmore line was shortened to end at Broadway, and the funicular tracks were paved over. The 24 Divisadero became part of the municipal railway transit system after the merger with the Market Street Railway in 1944. During World War II, the top priority for both the Municipal Railway, or MUNI, and the Market Street Railway was to find operators for their streetcars. The jobs had never been offered to women or African Americans, but the wartime labor shortage saw MUNI hire its first black operator, Audley Cole, but only because Cole had not checked the race box on his application form. When his union refused to train him, MUNI's chief instructor, Wesley Mason, personally took charge of Cole's training to set an example. Audley's wife, Josephine, became a pioneer in her own right as the first African-American teacher hired by the San Francisco Unified School District. In 1943, a 16-year-old named Marguerite Johnson was hired as the first black woman streetcar conductor after writing 18 as her age on her application form. But her greater claim to fame came later as the iconic poet and novelist Maya Angelou.
You were the first Black streetcar conductor in the city of San Francisco.
I was 16.
You were 16.
Yes, I was Black, 16, and had the nerve to walk. I saw women on the streetcars with their little changer belts, with, that, and they had caps with bills on them, and they had form-fitting jackets.
You liked the uniform?
I loved the uniform. So I said, that's the job I want. I went down to place an application, and they wouldn't even give it to me. And so I went back to my mother, and I said, they wouldn't even allow me to apply. She asked me why. Do you know why? I said, yes, because I'm a Negro. She said, yes, but do you want the job? I said, yes. She said, go get it. They laughed at me, they pushed out their lips, and used some negative racial things. And
wow.
So I sat there for 2 weeks, every day. And then after 2 weeks, a man came out of his office. He said, come in. And he asked me, why do you want the job? I said, I like the uniform. And so I got the job. Amazing.
After the merger with the Market Street Railway, Muni converted the streetcars on the 22 Fillmore line to trolleybuses. The 22 trolleys took over the northern section of the 24 Divisadero route, and the end of the 24 line was moved to Webster and Jackson. In 1982, the 24 line was extended south to a new terminus at 3rd and Paloux, and trolleys took over the line the following year. The southern terminus of the 24 Divisadero is also the terminus of the 23 Monterey, which runs an east-west crosstown route to the western edge of the city. It also serves as a stop on the T 3rd Street light rail line between the Bayshore Caltrain station and Chinatown. Next to the T-Line station on 3rd Street, we find our 24 Divisadero bus waiting for us. Built in 1888, the Bayview Opera House is the oldest standing theater in San Francisco. Actor Danny Glover and singer and actress Cindy Herron credit the Bayview Opera House for jump-starting their career. The Opera House became part of the San Francisco Arts Commission in 1976 and was renamed the Ruth Williams Opera House in memory of community leader Ruth Williams. In the 1960s, Ruth Williams and Eloise Westbrook were the voices of the Bayview and Hunters Point neighborhoods. In 1968, they arranged a meeting with U.S. Attorney General and presidential candidate Robert Kennedy to talk about the poverty and discrimination that plagued their neighborhoods. They also managed to secure a $30 million federal grant to improve housing in their community.
Yeah, turn me up a little bit in the headphones. Legend. I came up, it's time I switched the game up. Carve my own lane, now it's time I speed it up. When you're in your car, you hear me, man, I hope your speakers bust. Moving to the music I made when I was stationed in the city. To the girls that threw me plenty, bump records, they was with me. To every show I had, now success, I hope you feel me. Been dreaming for a minute, man, it's time I put a record out. Everybody know with my flows, I put my heart out. My introduction guaranteed to blow your minds out. I'm hot now, name in this spot, boy, I shut down, I'm getting it. I told you I'd be living it, had to switch the team, cause they really don't believe it. Now I'm getting fans on the low, independent on my own. Never rest till I get home, so I'm hardly ever home. Been dreaming for a minute, cause I vision it. I done seen it all as I write from my fingertips, let me admit it. When it comes to music, I'ma kill it. I told my whole family gonna make it in the state. take it, now you made it. When it comes to music, I'ma kill it. I told my whole family gonna make it in a second.
Across the street from the Paloux and Phelps Park is the Calibird Pollinator Sanctuary. This community garden is maintained by Isaiah Powell and his team of dedicated gardeners. The mission of their organization, Dragon Spunk, is to grow produce with methodologies of environmental rehabilitation and to provide a sanctuary for bees, birds, and butterflies. Dragon Spunk also runs educational workshops for the local community. You can find their produce at the Bayview Farmers Market, or look for the Rollin' Roots food truck, a farmer's market on wheels delivering a host of farm fresh produce. The garden sits above the north portal of Tunnel Number 3 on the Caltrain line, which connects San Francisco and San Jose. Southern Pacific built this section of the rail line along the eastern shore of the peninsula to bypass the steep grades of the original route. A series of 5 tunnels had to be built between San Francisco and San Bruno. Work on Tunnel Number 3 began in 1905 and was completed within 2 years. We're now climbing our first hill, which is taking us to Bernal Heights. To reach the highest point on Cortlandt Avenue, we must gain 230 feet in elevation in less than half a mile. At Folsom Street, we pass the old terminus of the 9 Mission and Valencia streetcar line. Operated by the Market Street Railway, the line began service in 1909 and ran on Cortlandt to Mission Street then continued along Valencia and Market to the ferry terminal. On November 13, 1946, a car on the 9 line failed to stop at the terminus and jumped the tracks, causing only minor damages. When streetcars were replaced with buses in 1949, Muni rerouted the 9 line to Richland Avenue and extended the 10 Monterey line to cover Cortland, with a new terminus at San Bruno Avenue. In 1982, the 10 line was rerouted as an east-west crosstown line, while Muni extended the 24 Divisadero to cover Cortland Avenue, with a new terminus at 3rd and Palou. The 10 Monterey became the 23 Monterey in 1983. At Anderson Street, we're only a short walk away from the grassy open space of Bernal Heights Park. The park offers one of the best panoramic views in San Francisco. Bernal Heights was part of the 1839 Rancho de las Salinas land grant awarded to Jose Bernal. The area of Bernal Heights was sold in 1860 to French financier and developer Francois Pioche, who subdivided the land into smaller lots. But the tight-knit community around the hill fought to keep the open space as farmland for their cattle and dairy farms. It became Bernal Heights Park in 1894 when the Board of Supervisors designated it as a recreational space for the community. At number 424, we find the historic Wild Side West. This lesbian bar, originally located in North Beach, found its new home here in 1976. Unwelcome at first by some locals who hurled a rock through the window and left broken toilets at the front door, owners Pat and Nancy made good use of the broken objects by turning them into sculptures for their lush backyard garden. At the end of Bocana Street is Holly Park. With a playground, picnic areas, and restrooms, Holly Park is the perfect place for a scenic walk or to relax with a cup of coffee or a sandwich. Crossing San Jose Avenue, we are joined with the light rail cars on the J Church line. The J line runs along San Jose Avenue from the Balboa Park station, then continues on Church Street and skirts along Dolores Park. At Market Street, the train runs underground to the end of the line at the Embarcadero station. The intersection of San Jose Avenue and 30th Street saw the first interurban electric streetcar line in San Francisco. Called the San Francisco and San Mateo Electric Railway, it was created in 1892 by German immigrant Berend Jost, who had made a small fortune dredging the Panama Canal. Jost purchased a large piece of land south of the San Miguel Hills, today's Mount Davidson, and called it Sunnyside. Jost created his electric streetcar line to attract residents to his new neighborhood. Streetcars ran along Sunnyside Avenue, now Monterey Boulevard, to the ferry terminal. Jost then extended the line south on San Jose Avenue and down the peninsula along the tracks of the Southern Pacific Railroad to San Mateo. In 1903, United Railroads took over the line and renamed it 40 San Mateo Interurban. After the San Francisco Board of Supervisors banned burials within city limits in 1901, cemeteries were relocated to the town of Colma along the 40 line. United Railroads created a fleet of funeral cars designed to offer a comfortable funeral ride to the Colma cemeteries. The 40 San Mateo Interurban Line was discontinued in 1949 when Muni embarked on its program of converting most of its streetcar lines to bus lines. This streetcar on the 9 line is about to pass under a trestle that belonged to the Southern Pacific Railroad. The original Southern Pacific route to San Francisco ran along Colma, Daly City, and through the Mission District. In 1907, Southern Pacific built a more direct route to the city along the Bayshore. The Oceanside branch was discontinued in 1943, but excursion rides through the Mission District continued until 1956. We cover the history of the Southern Pacific Railroad in San Francisco in our video on the 30 Stockton line. Look for the link in the end screen. At Church Street, we part ways with the J train and start our climb toward Billy Goat Hill. The Hill was once a quarry operated by the infamous Gray brothers. George and Harry Gray were known for damaging houses with rocks blasted from their quarry and failing to pay their employees. In 1914, a disgruntled employee named Joseph Lococo confronted George Gray and shot him dead. Local newspapers were quick to side with Lococo and portray him as the victim of unscrupulous employers. When a sympathetic jury acquitted Lococo 5 months later, the courtroom erupted with cheers. At the end of 30th Street, we find the trail that will take us to the top of the park. Halfway up the steep climb, we find a shaded area to catch our breath and enjoy another spectacular view before resuming our climb. The summit can also be reached effortlessly from Beacon Street on the other side of the park. Looking up, we may spot finches near their nests, or an American kestrel or other predator looking for a meal. Closer to our feet, we may catch sight of a monarch or the protected mission blue butterfly fluttering around wildflowers like the California saxifrage, which can only be found in 2 other areas in San Francisco. We're now heading north in a straight line, with a few more hills awaiting us before we reach Pacific Heights at the end of the line. With a 23% grade, this slope between Cesar Chavez and 26th Street is the steepest street on any existing trolleybus line in the world. By comparison, the grade of Lombard Street is a mere 16%. Castro and 26th Street was the terminus of the Castro cable car line. In 1887, the Market Street Cable Railway created the Market and Castro cable car line to cover the length of Market Street and continue on to Castro to Noe Valley. After the 1906 earthquake, the line was rebuilt as an electric streetcar system and renamed 8 Market. But the gradient on Castro Street between 20th and 24th Streets proved too steep for streetcars, and the Castro Street section of the cable line remained in operation to complete the route to Noe Valley. The cable car was replaced in 1941 when the 24 Divisadero became a bus line. Many of the houses lining Castro Street are original Victorians from the 1870s and 80s. The prevalent style at that time was called Eastlake, also referred to as stick for their symmetrical lines and square bay windows. Most decorative elements were prefabricated, so these houses could be built faster and cheaper at a time when San Francisco was expanding rapidly. Victorians in San Francisco evolved from the basic wood-frame box house of the Gold Rush period to the two-story Italianate in the 1860s, the East Lake in the 1870s and 80s, and the flamboyant and extravagant Queen Anne of the mid-1880s and 90s. This simple box frame structure makes the Victorians more resistant to earthquakes. They might tilt in a strong tremor, but are not likely to collapse. Their rigid structure also allows them to be lifted off their foundation and moved for relocation. We now descend toward Eureka Valley and its most famous neighborhood, the Castro. The arrival of the Castro cable car in 1887 spurred development of Eureka Valley and transformed it into a working-class neighborhood. The 1950s saw large numbers of families moving out of the Castro to the fast-growing suburbs south of the city. After the Summer of Love in 1967, the Haight-Ashbury neighborhood became drug-ridden and violent, chasing off its gay population. Drawn by affordable housing in the Castro, the gay community transformed the area into a center for LGBTQ life. In 1907, Lebanese immigrant Abraham Nasser began projecting motion pictures against a wall in the back of his grocery store. The growing popularity of his projections convinced Nasser to open the Liberty Theater on the corner of 18th and Collingwood. In 1910, Nasser moved his operation to a larger 600-seat theater around the corner on Castro Street. The Castro Theater was rebuilt next door in 1922 with a new 1,400-seat movie palace in a grand Spanish Baroque style. Before screenings, the theater's legendary Mighty Wurlitzer pipe organ warms the audience with the theme song from the 1936 film San Francisco.
see. All right.
Market and 17th Street is the terminus of the F Market and Wharf historic streetcar line. Muni operates a fleet of vintage streetcars along Market Street and the waterfront, making connections along the way with cable car lines at Powell and California. On the Powell Street lines, passengers will experience a memorable roller coaster ride along Nob Hill to Fisherman's Wharf. The California Cable Car will take you up to the top of Nob Hill for a visit to Grace Cathedral or Huntington Park. Or go for refreshments at the Laurel Court in the Fairmont Hotel, or dinner at the Tonga Room. Across the street is the Mark Hopkins Hotel, where an elevator will take you to the iconic Top of the Mark for afternoon tea, or something more invigorating. The current gray and red livery on Muni's fleet is a return to the original color scheme Muni adopted for its first streetcars in 1912. The blue and gold livery was introduced in 1939 to celebrate the World's Fair held on Treasure Island. Muni used this livery for its new streamlined streetcars from the St. Louis Car Company. These streetcars offered such a smooth and quiet ride. They were nicknamed Magic Carpets. They also recall life in San Francisco during the war years. In 1946, after the merger with the Market Street Railway, Muni repainted its entire fleet with the new green and cream with wings livery. This new color scheme also marked Muni's transition from streetcars to buses. Between 1969 and 1975, some bus lines adopted a new maroon and gold livery with the new ribbon logo inspired by the color scheme of the cable cars on the California line. 1975 saw the new sunset livery covering Muni's fleet. Designed by famed brand designer Walter Landor, the red and orange stripes represented the California poppy and sunset glow. Landor also created the new worm logo, still in use today. The return to the gray and red colors began in 1995. The discovery of gold in 1848 turned a small village port of about 1,000 souls to a bustling city of 30,000 in less than 3 years. By the 1870s, the population of San Francisco had reached 150,000, and the city's westward expansion began populating Pacific Heights. The panoramic views made Pacific Heights one of the most desirable neighborhoods in San Francisco. Affluent families, wealthy merchants, mining speculators, and shipping magnates built opulent houses to display their new wealth, establish their social status, and, if possible, overshadow the neighbors. This trolley bus on the 3 Jackson line is headed towards Sutter Street and downtown. The cable car tracks belong to the Washington Jackson line, which served Pacific Heights until 1956. Along with the 24 Divisadero and the 22 Fillmore lines, the 3 Jackson and Washington Jackson cable car lines offered local residents easy access to many destinations in the city. This cable car turning onto Steiner from Washington is making the loop to Jackson before heading back toward downtown. In the distance is a 22 Fillmore trolleybus on its way to Market Street and the Mission District. This cable car on the Washington-Jackson line squeezes its way between a 24 Divisadero bus and a 22 Fillmore streetcar. Our bus now reaches the end of the line. But it doesn't have to be the end of our trip. With Fillmore Street around the corner, a trolley bus on the 22 line will take us to the end of the line for a quiet stroll on the Marina Green. Or why not explore Fillmore Street with its trendy boutiques, cafes, and restaurants? From the creative vibes of the Bayview and the small-town atmosphere of Bernal Heights to peaceful and charming Noe Valley, and through the vibrant LGBTQ life of the Castro, to the hilltop views and grand mansions of Pacific Heights, the 24 Divisadero line will take you on a roller coaster ride along some of the most scenic hills of San Francisco.